I love the change of seasons. Goodbye summer with your unflattering skimpy clothes, your hateful barbecues and cheerful parties. Autumn brings with it lots of lovely excuses for not leaving the house. Too dark, too rainy, too cold. I'm very much looking forward to spending my evenings at home, watching further episodes of The Wire with a fire on and a nice bowl of soup or a plate of stew. September is traditionally a time of setting goals and revising plans, partly because it's the start of the school year, even though none of us are at school anymore, partly because there are still a few months of the year left to run and a decent chance of ensuring that something is achieved so the year doesn't get written off as a failure or disappointment. It's a time when I ask myself, what have I achieved so far? What have I learned? I've learned one thing. There isn't much use for dog shit. You can't put it on the compost or spread it around the garden. You just have to pick it up and throw it away. But you can always get a poem out of it. And while that may not seem like an important lesson, it's very comforting and does say something about life. Remember, it doesn't matter whether the poem is any good or not. It's the act of creation that counts. Filmmaking, for me, is the new dog shit. I thought it was the new knitting, suitable for all skill levels, the results of your effort growing in front of your eyes, sometimes frustrating, ultimately rewarding, can be done at home by yourself, etc. But there are so many lessons to be learnt from it that, really, I'm going to have to say, it's the new dog shit. One thing I have learnt from filmmaking is that small achievements bring happiness and big ambitions bring unhappiness. Of course, you can go and live in an echo teepee and learn much the same thing, but this way I don't have to leave the house. And while small achievements have led to big ambitions, I do feel there must be further lessons to be learned, that the unhappiness is only temporary, and there's another step I've yet to find that will lead to happiness. I'll get there in the end. Meanwhile, I just wish there was a way to incorporate dog shit into filmmaking. If only you could use dog shit to create a futuristic city, for example. But then, by rendering it useful, by taking away its essential and unassailable uselessness, perhaps I would also take away its potential for poetry. Poetry, knitting, filmmaking, dog shit. One day, I'll find a way to combine all these elements. The question is, would it make me more happy or less happy to realize such a dream?